The 2024 Acura Integra Type S has qualities far more impressive than a ludicrous 0 to 60 time or a huge diameter touchscreen. It has balance, harmony, and soul. Few cars appeal to both pragmatism and playfulness so well, none look this good doing it. This is a car we'll be celebrating until gasoline goes extinct. The 2024 Acura Integra Type S, on the other hand, just might be. It retains all the performance driving goodness of the Type R, but neatly rounds off many of its daily driving rough edges. The Integra Type S is a premium performance sport compact car, brand new for 2024. It shares a platform and key components with the FL5 Civic Type R that also just came out. But while the Honda is tuned for time attack, read, stiff, sharp, and aggressive, this Acura is set up to be a little more comfortable and daily driving friendly, a few clicks more compliant in ride and responsiveness with a more upscale interior. At first glance, the Integra Type S is somewhat similar to the Integra as far as familiarity goes. Keep looking and you'll see wide fender flares, contributing to it being 2.8 inches wider than the Integra and 0.2 inches longer. The front track is stretched by 3.5 inches and the rear track by 1.9 inches. The 2024 Acura Integra Type S competes in a class of one as the only manual transmission hatchback in its class. If DIY performance is important to you, then the Acura is a bargain at any price. But it's also hard to ignore that some of its rivals offer more technology. Even if you have to pay extra for it, the Cadillac CT4 versus Super Cruise package would be tempting. There are differences, and they account for much of the edge smoothing we hinted at earlier. For those who wondered what a Type R with a few dozen extra pounds of sound insulation would be like, the Integra Type S provides an answer. The Integra has more floor and firewall insulation than the Civic. The new Integra Type S between the guardrails along Highway 39 in California, we immediately see that this machine has the same sharp steering, deft handling, and colossal grip as its shoutier Honda sibling. The Acura's turbocharged 2.0-liter engine has been recalibrated to deliver 320 horsepower and a smidge more part-throttle mid-range torque. Reaching peak horsepower requires 93 octane, and on the local 91 octane California brew, we can't point to any difference, which is no bad thing. Much of the Type S's dynamic goodness derives from the shared platform using the same floor pan, firewall, and suspension hardpoints. The suspension itself and the adaptive dampers are also identical from a hardware standpoint. After all of this, it should go without saying that both cars share a 107.7-inch wheelbase and broad front and rear track widths of 64.0 and 63.5 inches, respectively. And their braking distances are equally stellar, with the Type S needing just 153 to stop from 70 miles per hour and 305 feet from 100 miles per hour. The Integra's interior is clean and comfortable, not ornate or particularly elegant. Materials at the touchpoints are nice and I really like the button layout, but the cockpit doesn't have the designy artfulness you get in the similarly priced Euro rivals. Whether or not that's a pro or con depends entirely on your personal aesthetic, though. Acura makes good use of the digital dashboard and infotainment without overwhelming you with screens. Drivers have a lot of choice for what's displayed on the dash and HUD, and the drive mode selector is done just right. It's one click of a switch up or down for comfort or sport. The digital squink sound as this happens is great too, and best of all, a user-configurable individual mode is hard-keyed so you can hit it instantly without thinking. The 9-inch touchscreen interface, 7-inch on trims without the technology package, pokes up out of the dashboard, making it easy to use while keeping your eyes mostly on the road. The screen responds quickly to inputs and has a contemporary look and feel aside from somewhat rudimentary navigation graphics. Our A-Spec with Tech Package car had the ELS 3D audio upgrade, but it didn't sound all that special. Crisper than the Civic C's Bose setup? Yes. A standout stereo among entry-level luxury cars? No. All Integras come standard with adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assistance, which made for a rare bundle with our test car's manual transmission. You do the shifting, and the car takes care of the rest. We had no real complaints. The adaptive cruise rarely overreacted to action up ahead, while the lane monitors seemed to have a good sense of where the car was between the lines. In the cabin, there are plenty of cubbies and bins, highlighted by the center console between the front seats, which has storage space both ahead of the shifter and behind it as well as underneath the armrest. The generous rear legroom also lends itself to car seat installation. We clipped a rear-facing seat into the rear center position with no impact to front passengers in terms of seat positioning. For starters, the passenger seat doesn't get height or lumbar adjustments, making it uncomfortable after a couple hours. That, plus the occasionally droning exhaust and resonant cargo area, conspire to make the Acura feel a bit cheap relative to its competitors. But at the same time, it's far more playful and nimble, turning every errand into an apex. I think the Integra Type S would be my pick of the litter thanks to its exuberant, sassy performance and everyday usable shape. The Integra's hatchback cargo bay looks like it could swallow a lot of stuff with the rear seatbacks folded, although Acura does not provide a maximum cargo figure. It's a meaningful upgrade over sedan rivals if you want a car that can haul. With the seatbacks in place, there's a generous 24.3 cubic foot cargo bay, which is approximately twice the capacity of the Audi A3. This car is just already so cohesively made and harmonized, and messing with any one thing will throw off that immaculate balance. The stock exhaust looks cool and sounds great. Even the burbles you get in Sport Plus mode are fun but not annoying. Similarly, the stock intake makes the right noises and is going to yield better long-term reliability than a cold air pipe. I'd even be reticent to mess with the body because I wouldn't want to throw aero out of sync.